Okay, hey everyone, this is Oren. I haven't posted in a while, mostly because I've been doing other creative projects. Um, the YouTube channel is mostly just me doing a creative project if there's a bunch of demand and I catch on. But so far I've only had a couple comments. If a lot of people do more videos, that would be extremely unrealistic, but I would probably answer the demands. In any case, I had an idea today to recommend movies that got wide releases. They're not artsy movies, but movies that were screened. They weren't like popcorn action-filled movies, but they never really got into the conversation for Oscar. And there. So let's start. I got The Lost City of Z as my first one. It's directed by James Gray, who's kind of becoming a more in-demand director. He's not Denis Villeneuve or Guillermo del Toro or Alfonso Cuarón, the people I think of as the rising stars of this decade. But he's kind of getting there. Brad Pitt just worked with him in the movie Ad Astra, which I think is awful. That's just crap. Don't see it. But the director himself, the film before Ad Astra was this one, Lost City of Z, and it's kind of like The Heart of Darkness, which was later filmized in Apocalypse Now, the most famous version of it, where kind of a man goes into the wilderness and loses his mind. The character in this is a National Geographic-sponsored explorer, a real-life guy who went into the jungles of, I believe, Bolivia, or probably the Amazon, and, I won't spoil what happens. His name was Percival Fawcett, which, that sounds about right. It's a pretty old-fashioned name. I couldn't write that kind of stuff. And his aide-de-camp, his sidekick, is played by Robert Pattinson, a really good performance. And Robert Pattinson's a really great doppelganger for this guy because Percy Fawcett is obsessed and he won't get off the train at the right point. So Robert Pattinson, they both get families late in life, but Robert Pattinson said, "Well, I'm gonna, maybe spend some time with my family, not risk my life every couple of years by going to this jungle." And it's also, there's a lot of really great scenes where it's the guy versus society, because society has doubt about the guy. Let's look at the awards that it won, because I'm also checking IMDb, and it's really interesting because there are a hell of a lot of awards. The Cleveland International Film Festival named this the best American independent feature film. Why would a film festival in Cleveland need an American award? It won the Dublin Film Critics Award for Best Screenplay. The International Cinephile Society Awards, it was 5th place. It won Best Supporting Actress nominated. International Cinephile Society Awards. What's the difference between that and the International... I don't know what the hell this is. International Online Cinema Awards. London Film... There are too many freaking awards. London Critics Circle Film Awards was a nominee for Tom Holland. But he also, it says here, he also, along with Spider-Man, so it was it was this movie and Spider-Man. So I guess it was a half a win for this. The Online Film Critics Awards named it Best Adapted Screenplay. What drugs were they on at the time? Jesus Christ. That's pretty, they were really going offbeat. Guys, we don't need so many Film Critics Awards. My next film is Big Eyes, which is a Tim Burton film that is really from 2014. I don't think it got great response. I could look up its Rotten Tomatoes score, but people stopped watching around 9 minutes, so I don't want to be too long. It wasn't a very Tim Burton film. It was more of a melodrama, the family melodrama, maybe in the Douglas Sirk mold, about how a family in a traditional era of families, probably the 1950s or something, and it's based on a real-life painter. They might have external circumstances that look okay, but inside it's really not a pretty domestic situation. And this film, more than anything else, impresses me because it morphs from, family drama to family horror story, because the wife is, so put upon by the husband, she's practically get me the hell out of here. I also had The Battle of the Sexes, which is a 2017 film starring Emma Stone. It was the year after she won for La La Land, so she might not have been around, but it stars Billie Jean King. Emma Stone is Billie Jean King, and Steve Carell is some other tennis player who actually won Wimbledon, but in his older age, he started doing showboating stuff. And it's a kind of a fun film. I really was rooting for Emma Stone's character. It's a good sports movie. I'm not I'm not like an active feminist. I'm not like, in the like I'm in film communities where there's an extreme branch of feminists. I'm not in that, but I certainly get behind feminist messages when they're presented okay. And yeah, you felt this, and it also didn't like straw man anyone. In real life, Billie Jean King and this guy who I'm not on the right screen, so I can't figure it out. We're friends, and like it was really just a show. So so anyway, so I mean, it also just had a really good supporting cast. And that Andrea Riseborough is really, really kind of alluring in this film. She's really, and I mean, it's good for a love interest if they're alluring you. I guess you could say she's very, beautiful and stuff, and she definitely, brings it out. I think the funniest award that this thing won was Dublin Film Circle Awards. Again, they named Emma Stone the ninth best actor of the year. Did she have to go up to like a podium and be like, "I'm ninth best"? Yay for me, sort of. Like, what if she was like named like the 23rd best? Would she like still have to go to the podium? That's kind of a backhanded compliment almost, especially if you were first best the year before. All right, after this I'm gonna go to The Founder, which is a film about the founding of McDonald's. I guess everything I've done so far has been a historical fiction. So, this film only won 4 awards: Best Actor and Best Buddy Picture, which is a completely inaccurate representation of the movie, at the AARP Movies for Grown Up Awards. Yes, that exists. I guess donate your money some of your donations to AARP will be to create this meaningless award ceremony. And Gran Premio International I don't know what the hell that is, had a film award nominee for best. I don't know. You could read it yourself. Whatever the hell that is. Okay, so The Founder is about the man who stole the McDonald's concept from the McDonald's brothers. His name is Ray Kroc, and if you were to look at McDonald's literature today, it says that the founding of McDonald's is Ray Kroc and the 2 McDonald's brothers. This is... You like The Social Network? This is, I would say, better than The Social Network. This is more gripping. It involves adults, so their minds are more, like, fully formed, and, like, I tend to hold adults more accountable. Like, The Social Networks is just a silly game between teens who didn't know what they were doing and let, like, stupidness go over them. This is about, like, really, really hammers home the evils of capitalism. It's a really, really crazy movie. I think it's just, and Michael Keaton's astounding in it. Laura Dern and Linda Cardinelli are also in it. Alright, I'm gonna go with Beginners. This is a film that won the Best Supporting Actor for Christopher Plummer, and all of its awards. Screw these guys. AARP Movies for Grown Up Awards, the Alliance for Women. No, that one particularly. There's also broadcast Central Ohio Film Critics Association, and they gave it the Best Overlooked Film, which is basically the thing I'm doing now. But is there a Northern Ohio and Southern Ohio and a West? That's too much. Central Ohio Film Critics Association? Jesus Christ. Anyway, this is a film that won an Oscar for Christopher Plummer, and a lot of films like Razor's Edge or Johnny and Belinda that I've seen, or I don't know. There's The Year of Living Dangerously. You only know about them because they won someone an Oscar, but they can also be really good films too. Constant Gardener is another example. If Beale Street Could Talk. Anyway, so this film deserves so much more than to just be known as the film that won Christopher Plummer an Oscar. Because, first of all, there are other actors in the film, like, I think Ewan McGregor especially, who are Oscar-worthy on themselves. I would have definitely given Ewan McGregor, like, Best Actor second place for that year. And it's also a film that is really kind of a very slow-moving dramedy that's very unique in tone. It's made by Mike Mills, who later did 20th Century Woman. It's kind of autobiographical. And basically, it's about a guy who is dealing with the fact that his father comes out as a gay at the age of 75 and gets a boyfriend, and it also the main character kind of reestablishes his relationship with his father while also trying to navigate like the closed offness of his personality and trying to fix that about his love life. It's a very kind of sweet and slow moving film. Lastly, because I don't want to take up too much time, I'm going to do Joy, which is David O. Russell's follow up film after American Hustle, which got lots of awards. I guess you can't win them all. It did get an Oscar nomination, and it also, interestingly enough, David O. Russell had a film that he was so disappointed with that he removed his name from the credits. So he has a directorless film in 2014 called Serena between Joy and American Hustle. So Joy is a 2015 film, and it's about the woman who invented the Miracle Mop. I think David O. Russell's quartet of films with Robert De Niro and Jennifer Lawrence and Brad Cooper are all really good. They all display actors who are really comfortable with each other, and it shows in all four of those films. And you can see Robert De Niro and Bradley. You could see a lot of just sort of a very playful improvisation, quasi improvisational quality of acting. It's also just a very uplifting but not cheesy story, and I think that's probably on the part of Jennifer Lawrence and the way she plays it. So I think it's a great movie. Anyway, so those are my recommendations of some of the movies. Well,